Hey everybody, it's Julie. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with a mid-year Bujo setup. I'm in my new Archer and Olive Road Tripper A5 notebook, and I finished my first notebook for the first 6 months of the year, and now I'm moving into my new one. So I've gotten some of the Road Tripper accessories. That bug on the front just inspired me. I have a VW Beetle. It has always been my favorite car, and I have it now and it's my dream car, and so I'm just going with it. So here I am starting off with my front. So I've got a key that I have created, and this is on some of the pastel papers from the Archer and Olive notepad. So you'll see me use those a lot. I'm using some hand lettering to write my name up here, Jules, and I am, let's see, that is a calligraph pen. And I will try to link all the products that I have used, adding some dimension and little color to it and a shadow. So I'm going to put that key down at the bottom. I use some of the washi tape, and then over here on the left that says Hello Gorgeous, that's a postcard that came with, well, it was part of the Road Tripper set. There were quite a few things you could get with it, and I just loved it. You could just use these postcards as a postcard, send them to a friend. Mail is so special to get these days. Not email, snail mail. But I thought that would be perfect for my inside cover, just to inspire me, encourage me, and just make me feel a little happy when I open up my notebook. So there is my inside cover. Now I'm going to create my index. I do use an index because I like being able to keep track of the different collections and things I've done. So that's going to start on the right page, the right hand side. Right here on this left page, I am going to have a place to keep my grid spacing guide. Now I used a guide. I created a guide and I followed a blog post, and there might have been a video too, but I followed a blog post on the Archer and Olive blog. I will link that as well as the video if I can find the video. So I created that, but I wanted to have a place to put it in here. It's a little bit too big to stick in the pocket or to stick in a pocket that I'm going to make on the index page here, or the next page over. That's not the index page, that's going to be a stuff page where I can stuff stuff into my envelope. But here you can see I just made little tabs by folding paper, and that way I can just slip that grid spacing guide in and out. You might have to tape it after a while, retape it if it gets loose, but I'm going to reinforce this with that washi tape. It's going to go in between, so you can see how I do that. I just took the paper, took some strips, and folded it along those corners. And then I'm going to make it pretty by putting some of that same washi tape over it. And I'm going to decorate my grid spacing guide with some of the stickers from the Road Tripper set. So there is the guide, but I need to make it prettier. So I'm going to make a title for it. The grid spacing guide is nice to have so you can use it as a reference for how to space your lines, your different sections in your notebook. Here I'm using the black acrylograph pen in the 0.7 nib. And then this is one of my Micron Pigma pens. And I like having the variation between the print font there and then the cursive. Adding some more of that washi tape to anchor my pieces. I like to do that so that my pieces aren't just kind of floating around. Then it adds some continuity to everything. Now these stickers are so much fun. Has kind of a vintage retro vibe. Definitely fun for the summer. Definitely goes with my beetle theme. Stickers can make such a quick and easy decoration embellishment. Stickers, washi tape. Now I do a lot of stamping. I do a lot of hand lettering. I do all kinds of things, but can't beat the ease of stickers. And I'm trimming off my edge there so that it doesn't stick to the side. And what you can't see is I'm trimming off the top there. So there is my grid spacing guide. You can see the inside. And again, I will link that up in the corner here as well as in the description box. Okay, so you missed a little bit of footage there. This is my stuff page where I just put some, I'll put like a little cardstock ruler. I'll put some monthly review or review reminders, just whatever I want to stick in there. So I made a little pocket, used some of the washi tape. I'm using up at the top, you can see kind of this retro disco font. I just got online and looked for some examples, and then I went with it. Okay, so now here's my index page. It's going to be super easy. I'm just doing the lettering, and then I'm going to add a couple stickers and then draw lines with my acrylograph pen. Of course, add some washi tape. How many of you use an index? If you want to leave a comment in the comment section, do you use an index? Do you just go with it? I think it's important if you have collections mixed in with your journal, with your monthly and weekly spreads. So I tend to put in some different collections here and there. You can see me use my Archer and Olive ruler, stencil, can't remember what it's called. Mine is broken, and unfortunately I don't think they're available anymore. I'd love to have another one. So I'm going to color in some of the lettering, doing two-tone, and they are water-based markers, so you can blend them somewhat. Then I'm adding a drop shadow over on the right side, just with my pen, my black pen. And now you can see me adding in every other line with just a light color. That's so cool looking at it fast forward. Okay, so I will add here a couple of stickers, and then I'm also going to bring in, I got from Etsy, the seller was Mad Toy Designs, and here I'm going to use some of the digital images I purchased from there. So I will link that. That's the good thing about digital images. You can resize them. So you'll see me, I'm going to add in a bunch of these beetles. I've put them in different sizes. But here, this is my cover page for 2023. And you can see the drawing that I've already done for the lettering. But I wanted to add some watercolor drips. And you'll see with the image that I'm going to put on in a minute how it's all going to go together. So I start by adding some water up at the top and then applying the pigment, the paint, this is watercolor, and then just letting it drip. You do kind of have to manipulate it a little bit with some water, with some more of the paint, play around with it. pick up some of the excess with the corner of a paper towel. It's an organic process. You let it do what it wants to do, but you do control it. It's kind of like parenting. You let them make choices, but you control those choices, right? Without them knowing it. So I love how that just drips. It kind of frames my title there. And I went with a rainbow color scheme. I'm sorry you can't see up there at the very top. You'll see it in a moment. So I let that dry and I added some black splatter paint. Just picked up some black watercolor with a wet paintbrush and splattered it. And I'm using a black marker. This one's actually a Crayola marker. And I'm coloring in those letters and numbers, 2023, July to December. Again, I just did a search online for some groovy fonts. And then I'm going to clean it up a little bit with my fine liner. I do come in and add some white gel pen and also some color on the edges, which I wasn't crazy about. You can see there, I just added some of a drop shadow with different couple of colors. It got a little too much. So here is the beetle that I printed out, and I love it. It's got the flowers, it's kind of this watercolor look, and I printed it on clear sticker sheet, so it just really blends into the page. I am cutting it at the center so that it folds easily, and I will come back in and add some of the Road Tripper washi tape at the bottom. Here I'm adding with my gel pen, just some highlighting. I love how this page turned out. It is so much fun. It is so me. With the flowers, the color, the beetle. I'm an 80s gal, born in the 70s. This is just so much fun. And then I love this tiny little washi tape. It's a thin strip, but it's like a road pattern. Versatile. You'll see me use it several times in this setup. Trimming the edges off to keep them round. And then let's move on. Oh, no, gonna add a couple of more of these little stickers. I love the shimmer that's on them. Finishing touch. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some black splatter paint. You didn't see me do this on the other page, so now you see it. I'm working on my future log. Now, I use my future log extensively. In fact, I tend to not have a lot of room on it because I use it so much. Between teaching, family, ministry, my own stuff, I just have so many dates that I have to schedule. So I am using a two-page spread, so basically a 4-page spread, and I'm creating a Dutch door here. Now you don't want to cut all the way into the gutter, leave just a thin little strip, and then I'm going to glue that down with my Zig 2A glue pen. You don't want to cut it all the way down to the bottom because that will mess up the binding. Okay, so I did let that splatter paint dry. Always let it dry, either let time do it or you can use a heat tool because you don't want to smudge and smear that paint. Of course, I do it all the time. So here's my lettering for future log, and I did that Dutch door so that I didn't have to do the title twice. Now here are some of those little beetles that came, the VWs that came in that digital set. I'm going to print some out large and frame them and put them on my wall in my craft studio. I just love those. These are so much fun. So I like the way they're facing the front. It's like we're forward facing the future. So here I'm going to fill in my dates. Now I'm starting in August because this journal starts in July, and I don't need to do a July because it's already in there. That's going to be in my July setup. So I'm doing August all the way to, well, let's see, June of 2024. So I start off by writing the days of the week, and I'm going to alternate my colors. And here's some of the markers I'm using are zebra mild liners. And then these are strips that I cut out from the pastel notebook, the perforated notepad, that's what it is. So I'm going with pink, green, blue, yellow, purple, and then kind of this orange color. Now I didn't have a marker that matched that orange. That yellow and orange are very similar. So that's kind of why I did that orange marker, to make it more orange. There we go. So I've done all of my dates, and I stuck my pieces of paper on, and I think that's going to add a lot of differentiation between the months. Now here I'm doing my lettering and coloring it in, and I'm doing kind of a retro psychedelic coloring motif here, alternating the 3 colors on each letter. And again, I just love how this turns out. I'm such a hippie gal. So do you use your future log as much as I do? I use it extensively, like I said. I keep one of my ribbons right there because I refer to it all the time. Taking my pen, and I'm going to do the outline on the separation between the colors, and then I'm going to add a drop shadow to it. Isn't that so cute? I love how that turned out. And I will come back in and add some washi tape, some of that Road Tripper washi tape. So here again, it's that thin little road pattern, and it's perfect for the top here. And I went ahead and did all 12 of them. Is it 12? Yeah, 12. And then I did some washi tape at the bottom. So that is pretty much it. Let's do a flip through. Now you will see some other collections that I've added in here, but I didn't put them in this video because I spent time just doing those. If you have any interest in some of those collections, just let me know. You can see there on the index I added that bug to the bottom right corner. There's the future log. So here are a couple of other collections coming up: goals, a weight tracker, and it's got a Dutch door, gift ideas, my ideal routine, moving, music, and waiting on. So if you have any comments or questions, want to see any of those collections, just let me know in the comment section. Thanks for hanging out with me here. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.